Hi, this is Asaltaf and welcome to my channel Deep IT Knowledge. So in my last video we have seen how to add Active Directory roles and features. So in this video we will learn how to configure DNS server and how we can troubleshoot as well. So let's start. Click on tools, DNS server. As we can see, we have some options are here like forward lookup zone, reverse lookup zone, trust point and conditional forwarders. So let's see first forward lookup zone. So what is forward lookup zone? Forward lookup zone basically resolve IP to name, and reverse lookup zone resolve name to IP. So as we can see, in reverse lookup zone there is no any zone available, but in the forward lookup zone there is one lab.local is available. So always remember, when we promote the domain controller, so automatically forward lookup zone add by default, but reverse lookup zone we have to add. So before we start the configuration site, let's open the command prompt as administrator. So just run the command netdom query fsmo. Okay, so netdom query fsmo is very good command which help us during the troubleshoot. Schema master, domain naming master, PDC, RID, pool manager, infrastructure master. So always remember, let's see if you have 4 or 5 multiple domain controller and you don't know which is your primary domain controller. So to identify which is your primary domain controller, you just run this command netdom query fsmo from any one of domain controller system and you will see the result. So here dc-01.lab.local, this server is a primary domain controller. So in our case we have only one domain controller, so we can see dc-01.lab.local is our primary domain controller. So let's start and try to resolve the name to IP or IP to name. So best command we can use nslookup is default server localhost address 127.0.0.1. This 127.0.0.1 is our loopback address. Always remember that when we run the nslookup, it should resolve with our domain controller name and its IP. Since the result is wrong, so we had to start the troubleshoot one by one. So first we will always remember our LAN card properties, make sure our LAN card property is correct. So just go to LAN card properties, right click properties. Also always make sure your IPv6 is unticked since we don't use. Okay, so here preferred DNS server shows 127.0.0.1, which is wrong, so we should correct first. 192.168.14.20. 14.20 should be the primary DNS server also. 192.168.14.20 the preferred DNS server. Click OK, close. Let's run again. Okay, so the error is different. Before set the properties to 192.168.14.20, the result was different. After set the correct IP address, the error is different. So what is error now? DNS request timeout. Because what's happening now, it's can able to detect the IP but the host name is not. Just right click on lab.local, go to properties, make sure name server is resolved properly. So yes, it's correct. As we can see, we don't have the reverse lookup zone. So if you don't have reverse lookup zone, it won't able to resolve to name. So we have to create a first reverse lookup zone. So right click, new zone, next. Yes, this is our primary zone, so we will go with primary zone. Click next. IPv4, yes. Network ID, just enter your IP address of your subnet 192.168.14. That's it. You don't need to enter your 0 or any other digits. So because it's only detect first 3. Click next. Here we can see we have 3 options: allow secure updates, allow both non-secure and secure, and do not allow dynamic. So We always it's best practice to set allow secure updates, so just click next and finish. So as we can see that the zone reverse lookup zone is created, and let's try now whether we can able to resolve. So default server now showing unknown and address is okay. So what is remain? So as still we have not created the pointer record, so we have to create new pointer record, ptr we also called 14.20. so use your domain controller IP. So my domain controller IP is 192.168.14.20 and map with your forward lookup zone lab.local dc-01 and click OK. Then right click again, go to properties and check the name server. Okay, so usually what happen in some case, even in forward lookup zone and reverse lookup zone, it doesn't resolve automatically. So here is showing unknown. So what we need to do, just click on edit, click on resolve. If everything is okay, it will resolve automatically, and then just click OK. Perfect, just click OK. So let's try again, hope this time it will be okay. Oh, it looks good now. dc-01.lab.local and 192.168.14.20. so our domain controller and DNS server is perfect and perfectly working now, and we can able to resolve the name to IP. So let's see whether we can able to resolve from IP to name. So we can see ping -a 192.168.14.20. great. As we can see, dc-01.lab.local and one can able to resolve 192.168.14.20. so both are working vice versa. So it's a good sign that our DNS server is working fine. So far we have seen that what is the basic things we need to do after promote the domain controller. Also, if you right click on dc-01, so you can able to restart from all tasks, restart, pause, stop. So you can click just start, the DNS server will get restart, but don't restart in production time, otherwise might be there is an impact on your production. So always do, if you want to restart, you should do in the plan and do it after working hours. You can do also the same launch nslookup, so it's also the same result which we have run from nslookup command. In the DNS you can have a multiple forward lookup zone and you can have a multiple reverse lookup zone also. Now if you want to add the forward lookup zone, just simply click on forward lookup zone, click on new zone, next, primary zone, next, and you can give the name like lab.com. My previously domain was lab.local, so I'm going to create lab.com, click next, finish. So as we can see, lab.com is created. In the same way, if you want to create a reverse lookup zone, just right click, next. Here we can, but here you have to make sure that subnet will be different. So 192.168.18. Next. Okay, so the reverse lookup zone also we have created successfully. So why we need different or multiple forward lookup zone or reverse lookup zone? See, in most of the time what happens, we have websites, web server, on-premise web server, and we have global domain also, which can be from GoDaddy or any service provider, domain service provider. So we have, let's see, lab.com is a global domain, but what happens when our internal user, when they are trying to access our website, they require the internet because it's working on internet, so www.lab.com, so it requires the internet to resolve. So if they don't have internet access locally, so how they can able to reach to website? So to avoid or to resolve such kind of issue, you can just create a forward lookup zone with the like lab.com, and you can create inside the a record or alias record, like say www. And you can map with your website web server IP address. So let's see, your web server local IP address is 192.168.14.50, and then create a PTR record and add host. So the record has been successfully added. Just click done. So once you will open Internet Explorer and you will type www dot, it will redirect internally, so it won't go to the internet. Click Active Directory user on computer. So for in DNS, we'll hold here and we'll look for the Active Directory user and computer. So just click. So lab.local is our DNS name. As we can see here, we have a computers, users, domain controller. Built-in basically is a default user created when we promoted the domain controller. In the computer, it will show once you will start adding the workstation or servers in domain. Once we join to domain, all the list of the servers in computer will show here. Users, this is the users, default users. If you want to create a new user, so you can just right click, new users, you can able to create. Domain controller, this is the domain control list, where in controller we can see the list of domain controller. So in our environment we have only one domain controller, so it's showing one, but if you have 4, 5 or multiple, the list will show here. Also is showing DC type, whether this is GC, as in last video I have already explained what is GC, global catalog, or is it RODC, remote read only domain controller. So okay, so in the users I'll show you a few things that always in production you should not create a user directly into users by default, because the thing is, what happen if you create directly user into the users, and if you are trying to apply the group policy and you link with the user, so it will impact on all users. So always remember that you create a first OU like a department wise, and then you segregate the users according to OU, and then you link the group policy. So let's see how we can create a OU. So you can just right click, new OU, organization unit. Let's see, sales, protect container, you always tick mark. So if you're trying to delete, it will give you error, something like you don't have sufficient privilege. So just click another OU, IT. If you don't, if you untick this one and then click OK, and if you try to delete, it will delete. See? So always remember that the tick mark is there. So right click, new OU, IT, click OK. So we have created two OU, sales and IT, and then inside the sales or inside the IT you start create users. So right click, new users, sales 1, next, enter the password. We have 4 options. User must change the password at next log on. So always make if you are creating user for the user, so just make sure this tick mark is there. So once the user is trying to log in first time in his system, in his or her system, so it will ask to change the password. User cannot change the password. Password never expire. If you click, then the password, as per the domain policy, every 45 days the password should get changed. So but if you want that user password should not change, should not expire, so you can just click here. An account is disabled, so if you click, so the account will be disabled. So for now we'll go with this option, next, finish. So we have successfully created one user. So now this is we have created one user, but if you want to create a group, users group, so simply you can right click on OU and go to the group. You can give the group name test. We will select global and security, click next. The group is created. Now we need to add the member, so simply just right click, properties, members, add. So we have added just any member you can add. So I am going to add the sales, and this is as a part of test groups, and then click OK. So thanks for watching. So today we have seen the DNS server and Active Directory properties, and in my coming videos I will explain more troubleshoot steps about DNS and Active Directory as well. So thanks for watching now, and just wait for my coming videos. I will make videos on GP group policy, also on how to get the sites, also how we can establish the replication topology within a domain controller. So we will see all these things in my coming video.